Hey, welcome VIPs to our pre-market prep. Got a lot to cover. Interesting day. This is for VIPs only, unlisted YouTube link, and we may use this for marketing. First, we'll do a review of the major indices. So QQQ, we got Apple and Tesla, which closely follow QQQ, and then SPY. So, man, I mean, what's there to say? This thing rocketed over all the major DMAs. It's over the 200 DMA right now, the NASDAQ. And if you look at the SPY, broke the 200 DMA long ago. So what do we do from here? Personally, I'm not fighting this, right? There's lots of macro arguments why this should have never happened. But there's also I laid out the macro arguments several weeks ago of why it could happen. And now there's also the prospect of maybe just people longer term thinking about inflation. That could be the reason why we're seeing all this. So I'm not fighting this. I'm not fighting the cues. I'm not going to short this unless like critical, well, let's see. 200 DMAs here. Maybe. I'm not going to get too cute. Okay. The way I'm playing this is really with our new fangs and gold, right? Gold especially, rather than shorting the Q, because this could do anything, right? The Qs and the spies could reverse and keep running. It's very unpredictable. But when you talk about these like oil and gold, they take their cues from the futures market, and typically what you see in the morning is the direction you have all day, unless there's a huge geopolitical event during the day. And gold, I noted yesterday. Look at that; it bounced right off the 50 DMA. I'm in gold and I actually want to pick up more. Overnight, I picked up some in futures, and I'm up a pretty good percentage on it already, actually, because it's done well since yesterday evening. But I may pick up more leaps for my long-term IRA. I'm very bullish on gold. This might be something if you want to trade that could be tradable today. Um, so that's the story with gold. And now, if you look at oil, and by the way, we'll go look like potash is up, defense is up, all the new things, right? Fuel, agriculture, aerospace, nuclear, gold, the whole thing is in play again, right? To some extent, you have that kind of fear trade back. People are a little scared because, hey, the market's overextended. They see a little red in the morning, and now it's like they get more sensitive to Russia Ukraine news, right? That's just how it works. So now when you see headlines, especially today, wild, especially if these indices stay red, if you see any headlines about Russia Ukraine, especially on a day like today, it could accelerate the move in the new fangs and maybe make the markets a little bit more red. But I'm not making a bet again on betting against the markets. Rather, my bets for today are going to be long the fangs. The other one that I'm really interested in potentially playing both long term and short term, I want to add more KMI to my portfolio long term. And I also may be trading it today. Wow. You can see that move. I've been eyeing this since a couple hours ago, and looks like someone has the same idea as me. Because this stock, well, we know the fundamental argument that's been put out by Tony for the last several weeks, but look at the relative strength here. Here's a 5-day chart for KMI. Now look at the 5-day chart for XLE. Okay, KMI much stronger. Now it's even stronger than UNG. Okay, even stronger than all of them, right? Stronger than USO, everyone. It's stronger than all of them, which is proof, I think, that Tony's right about the KMI now getting interest as a natural gas producer that has been overlooked and pigeonholed. And they have the acquisition of Kinetrix. Well, when are the earnings? Earnings are coming up April 19th. So this is one I have a significant leap position in my IRA, but I want to maybe even double that position. And I may be trading this as the day trade today as well with some near-term options. So far, gold and KMI are two that I'm really interested in, both long-term and short-term. All right, going down our list, we're tracking RK, which look at that. Broke above the 50 DMA yesterday, pulling back this morning. I don't know. I don't know what it's going to do, but I wouldn't be surprised either way at this point if the market keeps like going on a short squeeze or if it pulls back. So I'm not really playing the market today, but from that perspective. Then we have Starbucks. Yesterday worked out brilliantly for us because we called it early in the morning after this 20 DMA break, and with the sentiment catalyst of Howard Schultz coming back as interim CEO. So man, that accelerated quickly. I got a quick 100 from the 20 to 50 DMA, hit the target quickly. I did end up selling all of my $90 call options at the end of the day, but I did pick up some 93 and 94 lottos for this week. So this is going to be tough if the markets are down, right? But I think Starbucks is going to break. If it's not this week, next week. This chart is too good with a relatively low RSI. So if it's not going to break the 50 DMA this week, it may need the tailwind of a strong market green day to do it. But I think when you get a strong market green day or some other catalyst come out of Starbucks, this is a quick move to $95. Obviously, very risky to play the weeklies. So manage your risk accordingly if you're doing Starbucks. All right, let's get into some of these specific stocks. Kodak, I presented on Benzinga yesterday, holding its gains steady. Didn't see a big move after my presentation, but I did see a lot of increased social media chatter about this EV battery space. So we'll see what happens with Kodak. I'm holding tight to that position. Tilray, okay, we've been talking about this for a while, that we're between the 50 and the 200 DMAs, sparked by this subcommittee hearing, which is today, actually, at 1 p.m. And then there could be a House floor vote later. So the subcommittee meeting today at 1 p.m. could be a partial kind of sell the news event, maybe. They also this morning announced earnings are going to be next week, April 6th. So this gets riskier as the price rises, but I still believe that 200 DMA is in play. Now it's dropping every day, and I like whole numbers. And there's also prior resistance at $10 if you go back to the 6-month chart. So I would say like 997 is my top. I don't want to own any after 997. I did sell. I've been selling on the way up. I still own some. Not a big position anymore because, as I said, the risk is increasing as it goes higher on Tilray. But I wouldn't be surprised to see a big move to 997 this week. Okay. Okay, SMSI gave it a little bit of plug yesterday in Benzinga. Beautiful chart, good follow through after this huge spike. I piled on big at 330 to 335, and I'm still in it. And we're nearing some resistance here at 375 to 380. There is definitely resistance there at 375 to 380. So play that how you like. If you're overweight or something, you may want to take a little bit off, but that is pretty good resistance. We'll have to see. Maybe the market has to cooperate for this to break that 50 DMA and get into this range over here. I have a hard time seeing this go over the 200 DMA 485 until we really see something material. So that's my take on SMSI. Air may outperform today the market. If the market's down, if Tesla's down, the reason being is because they have earnings tomorrow, and hasn't really had a huge bounce off the bottom, 9 to 11. So I think there's probably enough of a event anticipation here to keep the price at 11 or possibly even move. Maybe you get a move to like 12 before the close tomorrow, possible. So I think Air is set to outperform the market, at least on relative terms. Let's say if Air is usually down, 3x or whatever the Qs are, it's going to do better than that, and possibly could even be green on a red day. So we'll see. VTSI similarly has earnings tomorrow. I don't anticipate in this case an earnings anticipation run, event anticipation run, simply because of the sentiment in the sector. Not very exciting. So we'll see. I think it's going to hang around here right at the resistance, but it is at a key resistance level at 50 DMA, and it's really positioned very, very well if they have a good report for this to spike big to 7 to 740 quickly. VTSI is one of the only stocks I did not sell any throughout all of the volatility last several months. I kept my entire full position because they're a profitable company and I didn't see them being impacted by inflation or recession. in terms of business they would win. So I'm in this. I'm not buying more at earnings, and I do think there's potential upside to 7 to 750, 7 to 730 in a rapid kind of way, depending on what the earnings show tomorrow after the close. So that's about it. You can see here I'm also watching GVO and AgFi, but I don't have high conviction in those. Do have small positions, mostly for GVO did have the Delta contract the other week, and it's in between the 20 and the 200. So I'm hoping it spikes at some point to 550, which is when I'll get out completely. So that's what I'm hoping on GVO. AgFi, man, I was looking at the earnings report on this yesterday. Maybe worth a little bit of research. I mean, this one looks like the most undervalued cannabis company out there, but there's some sentiment issues, and I don't know exactly what they are regarding their finances and how these deals are structured. I mean, you're talking big money in revenue, big money in backlog, and the market cap's like tiny compared to all of that. So there's something going on. I have a position in case it goes up with Tilray on the cannabis subcommittee hearing 1 p.m. today in the House floor vote this week. So I'm hoping to be able to sell this on a pop, maybe at like $6 possibly at the 50 DMA, 590. But that's an interesting one if you want to dig deep and try to figure out why it's so undervalued. That'll be, and I think there was a bear report written on it like 6 months ago. You can find on Seeking Alpha or something, maybe even a lawsuit. Maybe that'll shed light on it. And you can see down here, our new fangs are doing great this morning. With oil up, you got potash up, you have uranium up. I think defense was up. Yeah, well, it's hard to say because the bid is 438.50, but even that is up. Yeah, even Lockheed Martin is up. So definitely, it's basically war risk on, inflation risk on play in terms of materials and the new fangs. So just kind of recapping, this is a scary place for the market. Up or down, I don't know where it's going to do. I'm not fighting it. I'm not taking big bets either way on the markets, but I am going to play it with gold. Okay, GLD I think is a great. Where did my GLD go? There. GLD I think is a great way to play this. And I think I'm going to play KMI because of the strong relative strength. Those are probably my top two picks today, both to add to my long-term IRA positions and for trade positions. And I'm hoping Starbucks moves and bucks the trend, but it's going to be tough. I think this needs a positive NASDAQ or SPY to turn it around. So that's what we got, folks. Let's continue collaborating in the rooms. Thank you for your time.